Hey guys, I got kind of an interesting vlog today. It's not something I like to vlog about, but it's something I've talked about in the past. I don't usually watch other people's videos. It's kind of because of what I'm about to talk about today. I like to think the best about people, but when you tune into other people's vlogs, sometimes it really shows what's going on out there, and it's kind of scary sometimes. What scares me is when people insult Filipinos to build themselves up and come over here to vlog and vlog their garbage and insult Filipinos over here. It's something that gets me mad. I don't like getting down in the muck on stuff like this. It's not something we do very often in this channel. I'm not going to throw out names. This is not what this is about. This is about everybody in general, that when you come over to the Philippines, Filipinos are your hosts. They're letting you live here. Just like in the United States, if somebody went around and said something there, you wouldn't like to hear it if it was insulting to all Americans. If somebody from outside the country was saying something about Americans, and I've heard many Americans say this, if you don't like it here, get the hell out, you know? And today I was just tuning into different stations, and I caught on to this one channel that was talking about, it had three women on there talking, and it had this fella on there talking in the background, and he was talking about this one particular vlogger. Like I said, I'm not going to mention names. This isn't about outing people or what have you. This is about a vlog about being careful about what you say over here. This particular vlogger was on there, and they showed him, they had a videotape of him talking about the reason why Filipinas don't date Filipina men is because Filipina men have the smallest penises in Asia, and it's like 4 inches or something like that. Why are we talking about that, first of all, and what relevance does it have? You know, and this guy seems to think because his might be bigger than theirs or something like that, that's going to sell us more. It's going to give us more Filipinas. They're going to come running over to us because he said that. You know, does he think that all Filipino women are that shallow and that low? I think we all got to kind of grow up, guys. You know, if that's where we're going, especially the vloggers out there, that's trash. That's expat trash at its worst. This particular vlogger was also insulting to the women, basically he was stating some things on there, and these women were talking about it, and I kind of agreed with the women that he was degrading the women. He was trying to make it stereotype the women as all about money here. That's all they're here for. The only reason why they date Americans, he says, if you pull that money away, they'll go running. And I'm like, I know lots of guys here that don't have a lot of money that have a beautiful Filipino woman on their arms, and I don't find that true. I'm not the richest guy in the world, and you know, I found a decent woman here. I know several other people that are even way lower than I am, and they're living on like $1,200 or $1,500 a month, and they've had some beautiful women. And you know something, when they were going through tough times and didn't have a lot of money, guess what? That woman stood by them. And I remember one time walking into the embassy, and I've told the story a few times on here. This guy was insulting the hell out of the woman behind the counters, saying, you know, get me an American. I want to talk to an American. And I'm like thinking to myself, man, like I think I even mentioned it, and somebody else mentioned it, I know that, was that, how do you know she's not an American? Maybe she is an American, you know, like, and this guy just kept asking, I want to talk to an American. I want to talk to a white person here behind the counter and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, you're going to get kicked out of here. You're going to get kicked out, you know? And finally the guy left, but it just thinking about that and thinking about the insults that woman had to take that day. You know, we don't know if she was American or if she was Filipino, and who cares really? The fact is, you shouldn't be insulting these people in your host country. You know, we're here living here in this country, and there's guys here insulting people. He insulted the guy that was talking about that Filipino penis is the smallest. I mean, just thinking about the conversation, man, it was disgusting. But thinking about that, I was like, how low do you have to go? Number one, you insulted all the men in the Philippines, and probably some of the women too, saying what you're saying, by saying that you're saying that, oh, the Filipino women are all looking for different non-Filipino men because of this here. Are people that shallow, dude? No, they're not. It just disgusts me to see this stuff on there. And you know, Americans come over here and a lot of Filipinos look up to us. I'm not sure why. I'm really not sure why. I know some of it does have to do with money and some of it doesn't have to do with money. I'm not sure why they look up to us. I don't think Americans are any better than any other country. I think we should all consider ourselves all equal. Americans, and I'm American, Americans, sometimes, I'm ashamed of Americans sometimes. Not all of them. We got some really good Americans that I know here in the Philippines too. But sometimes I'm ashamed of the way we behave. We always think we're better than the rest of the world because we come from the United States. We got that gung-ho patriotic BS going on. And I'm not saying I'm not patriotic. I'm patriotic. But you know something? There's you don't insult people. And when we do that to people, we insult people. It's shameful sometimes what comes out of Americans' mouths. Like sometimes even I've caught myself sometimes, and then I'm like, man, what am I thinking? You know, like what's going on here? You know, like, and then I see some of the guys that I'm around talking about stuff. You know, that's because they're not from America, they say, or something. It's like, dude, you know, that doesn't mean crap. I've seen Filipinos over here, you could stick them on an island with nothing there, and they'll find a way to survive. They're not stupid. In fact, they're probably smarter than us in some ways. You know, their IQ is a lot different than ours in different ways. I've seen Filipinos fix things that I thought couldn't be fixed, and they figure out a way. They're geniuses when it comes to street smarts and smarts of fixing things and repairing things and stuff like that. It might not look nice, but at least they'll get it going. You know, women here are miracle workers when it comes to making up a meal here. You know, give people credit, man. Don't insult people. Don't insult our host here. How dare we do that? We wouldn't take it from people to come to our country if they were coming from the Philippines or any other country insulting us. We don't like it. But yet you think you can do it because you go to another country? No, of course not. You know, this is something that's been on my chest before, and I try to stay off stuff like this. It's not one of my favorite subjects. But when I saw this, I was thinking about this guy and saying, this guy should be taken off of YouTube, number one. And number two, it's disgusting. And he's doing this in this that he's on a tourist visa and this is his host country. They're hosting him to stay here. And he's not the only one that's doing this. This is why I don't mention names. He's not the only one. There's many more that do this. There's other people demeaning other vloggers out there just for the sake of doing it so they can attract attention and stuff like that. What the hell are we doing? You know, I'd rather go off YouTube than do that. I would not want to make money from demeaning people. But people go on and do it. And this one in particular person appeals to one category of people. And they're all cheering him on when he talks this crap. And it goes to show where the mentality is there. And it's like, it really kind of reflects on those people, you know. But he is an American. But he's also making people look at his group of people from the United States and making them look worse. And this, I don't like to stereotype people. I don't like to put people, but when I see people cheering these people on, a whole bunch of them, it makes that particular group fit the stereotype that they get, and not all of them are like that, so don't get me wrong. This isn't like a racial statement or anything like that. I'm just saying, in general, you don't stereotype people, but when you see these people jumping on with people like that, more and more people are going to stereotype you. They are going to stereotype you because you're doing it, and everybody's cheering you on while you insult the very hosts that let you live in this country. It's disgusting. I just had to say that today after seeing this, and it really bothered me because I get tired of seeing expats over here insult our hosts. I love the Philippines. It's not perfect. Neither is the United States. There is no country that's perfect. But don't insult their people. Don't insult your host. If you're going to talk about somebody in like a particular person because they did something to you or they didn't give you good service or something, hey, have at it. But when you knock half the population and you're talking about the size of their people, even the fact that he looked that up to try to find that tells me where this guy's head is. It's in the trash bucket right over there. It's in the trash bucket over there. Anyway, guys, it's just something I want to talk about. God bless. Not something I like to talk about. A little bit, it really bothered me to see that because I love the Filipino people. And when you stereotype everybody and you throw them all in the same group, that's terrible because there's beautiful women here and you demean people. And I see a lot of other expat vloggers doing the same thing, demeaning people. And I'm not saying I'm not without blame, but most of my videos, I honestly try to keep my videos clean and fresh and nice and polite to my host country. Think about that. That's just me. You guys can do what you want. But let me give you this warning before I leave. Is that there's going to come a point when the Philippine government is going to start noticing stuff like that. And when they do, you're not going to be able to stay here on a tourist visa. Not only that, they're probably going to boot you out. And they're probably going to pass a law, if they don't have a law already, against it. Be careful. Be careful, guys. To all you vloggers out there that are putting trash on your channel, thinking you're doing the right thing, you're doing something cool, and it's fun to do. Think twice. Think twice. Because you're hurting yourself and you're hurting the future Americans and future Westerners that want to come over here. God bless, guys. Take care.